Hey everyone, welcome to another episode here. I'm going to do something a little different today in this video, and I'm going to do a voiceover here because there's a lot of music playing, and I just want to share with you guys a little bit about my recent trip to New York City here. My wife and I went up there. This is the first time there. This is probably my third or fourth time in New York City, and so it's nothing new to me, but we spent our first nights um, in Manhattan, and specifically in Times Square, as you see here. Lots going on, bright lights. This is basically New York that I remember. I've been here again a few times, and specifically here at Times Square a few times as well. But every time I come back, it seems like there's something new, something changed here, and so it's really good to just kind of go back and visit or revisit this place right here. And that was our first night in New York City. Our second day was a first full day in New York City, and so we try to do quite a bit. Here you see we're at Hudson Yards, and we're just taking a photo by what's called the Vessel here. Thanks to my boy James for recommending these stops. Next one right here is the High Line. You don't know about the High Line. It is a stretch. It is kind of like a boardwalk, and you can walk on this for I don't know how long, to be honest with you, but we walked about 15 blocks from 30th Street, where the Vessel was, all the way down to 15th Street, and so it was a nice walk. It wasn't sunny and hot. It was actually cloudy or overcast and cool, or a little breezy, and so it was very nice to just walk on the High Line. A lot of really nice structures there as well. A lot of interesting looking buildings, to say the least. And so that made for this walk, made actually this walk a lot more enjoyable. Not just to only see the city, but to also see the infrastructure and the architect around the city as well. So for the High Line, we walked from 30th Street all the way down to 15th Street. So that's about 15 blocks of walking. It took us about, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes to walk this entire walk. And it was cool being on the Manhattan side. Afterwards, we took the subway and we headed for Brooklyn, Brooklyn, New York City. And our first stop in Brooklyn was none other than this place right here. I don't know if you guys have been here. You'll see here in a little bit. But being in New York City, there was a lot of different bike stores that I wanted to stop by, but due to the lack of time, we can only drop by one shop. And so I decided to go to the one that I'm more familiar with, I guess, via Instagram and things like that. And that was King Kog. And so going into King Kog, if you're a fan of Zip, you're going to love this place. As you guys can see here, the owner of the store has a ton of Zip wheels everywhere. They're literally everywhere. And so that was really cool to kind of see the different colors, kind of just kind of hanging around there. On the wall, there's a ton of different bikes as well. You can see the Nagasawa here. Um, I think that was the only kind of fully built NJS bike I saw in the shop. But there are a lot of others as well, aluminum bikes and roadies and whatnot as well. This right here is one of my favorite walls as well. Just a lot of variety there, as you guys can see in the photo. And continuing down here, again with variety, right? Things that you don't really see. For example, that red thing right there, that's an old school, like, a bike measuring. You want to measure your geometry for a bike to get it custom made, you go on that thing. And I was able to kind of just look at some other things. The owner was gracious enough to let me go to the back of the store, of the shop, to look at some of the bikes that were hanging around in the back there. And so thank him for that. There's a few nice bikes back here that I really like. Like the King Kog, for example. I really like that bike. Um, But I will have to say that one of my favorite bikes is basically hanging on the wall. It was the three Rencho Tandem hanging there, so that was really cool. Um, the owner and myself, we actually had like a 30-minute conversation. This was by far the most interesting bike on display there, as you guys can see. It is the Chanelli Laser, and the most interesting feature about this bike is that it had rear Shimano drop-ins or track-ins, and so that was very interesting to see. Both the owner and myself, we were kind of shocked by that. Um, but unfortunately, we had to leave because we had other places to go to, and so here we're at Brooklyn Bridge, just taking photos. Just doing the touristy things here. It was really cool, but very, very busy. I did see quite a few cyclists going through the Brooklyn Bridge, and we ended our night at the Oculus. And so this was a full day's event for us to kind of walk through Manhattan, go to Brooklyn, see a few things there, and then go back to Manhattan and seeing the Oculus here. And so the Oculus is really cool, kind of a mall, indoor mall with a lot of space here, as you guys can see. Now, overall, our trip in New York was really fun. Um, the one thing that I did notice, I didn't have it on camera, was that we witnessed probably 3 or 4 times people actually jump the gates in the subways. I just thought I thought that was just a myth, but to see it in person and to see security guards right there not doing anything, it was shocking to us. So thank you for joining us on this trip to New York City.